Good morning. Here comes the rain again. Cue the Eurythmics great band. I don't know if you saw the commemoration from the Opera House last night. Very moving in parts. Very moving. Couldn't help thinking that it was on those same Opera House steps 2 years ago that the protesters were wanting to gas Jews and kill Jews. And there was the Jewish community and a wider community commemorating the tragic events at Bondi Beach. The Prime Minister spoke. And on the surface, it was a good speech. But to me, the words rang hollow because of their absence over the last 2 years. I'm not sure how the Prime Minister could have given that speech with those words last night and have said virtually nothing for the 2 years that preceded and led up to the events at Bondi Beach. But let's assume good faith, and let's assume that he now seriously wants to do something about anti-Semitism. He says he does. We've got a Royal Commission coming up aimed in that direction. Let's see how he handles some of the big issues that come out of that, including immigration and some of the people who are arriving on our shores and have been for some years now. Because no doubt immigration is much on the minds of average Australians. It's one of the reasons why people are swinging to Pauline Hanson's One Nation. She's unafraid to say what she thinks about it. And people can then agree or disagree with what she says, but she's raising the issue and talking about it, which is good. My stepfather was an immigrant. He came from Austria after the Anschluss in 1938. Kurt was Jewish, and he and his sister fled Austria with the help of their parents in 1938 after Hitler annexed Austria. Most of his family stayed and most of them died, as did most of the Jews of Europe. But when he came to Australia, he did what most migrants did then and did for the next 40 years or so. They embraced their new country. They cherished the opportunity that Australia provided. They wanted to fit in. If Australians played bowls, they'd play bowls. If Australians bought Holdens, they'd buy a Holden. They'd eat meat pies, although cricket remains somewhat baffling for most. But if Australians did things a certain way, they would do it. Now, it's wrong to think anti-Semitism has happened overnight. They confronted anti-Semitism back then, and it wasn't from Germans who'd also emigrated to Australia. Anti-Semitism had been taught in the church for centuries. But bit by bit, as the Jews settled into the Australian community and the Australian community embraced them as well, that largely disappeared until it returned. So the Royal Commission is going to need to ask, why did it re-emerge and where did it re-emerge from? I think multiculturalism is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's made our country a better place. But over recent decades, it's beyond argument that some people have come into this country who don't embrace Australian values, who hate Australian values. So why are they here? How did they get in? And if they're Australian citizens, who taught them this hatred? Because it's no longer the case that all immigrants love Australia. We can criticise bits and pieces of our country, and we will as we head into Australia Day, Monday. But we will also celebrate all the great bits, which is what immigrants until recent times have done, and most immigrants still do. As I say, I think multiculturalism is a good thing when people embrace the values of this country over those that they're leaving behind. That was the boundary that was once pretty clear. These days, it's a bit blurred. Have a great day.